Hello to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shea. Time to track the tropics and let you know if we have anything to worry about out there. It was kind of a slow start to the Atlantic Basin hurricane season, but things picked up. We now have had not one, not two, but three named systems. Tropical Storm Andrea, which was a weak and short-lived system, mainly over the central Atlantic that moved away from the U.S., so no impacts here. Tropical Storm Barry was short-lived and unorganized, but it did bring some heavy rain and some significant flooding to parts of southeastern Mexico. And of course, over the 4th of July holiday weekend, Tropical Storm Chantal made landfall right around Litchfield Beach in South Carolina early Sunday morning. Even though it never reached hurricane status, it still caused some flash flooding, even produced a brief tornado around the Raleigh area, and of course some gusty wind. And with it being a holiday weekend, the conditions at the beach were not great at all. So that was actually the first tropical system to make as we check out our Fox Weather Tropical Model Edition. We're not seeing a ton of organization. Notice a few showers and storms around parts of Central America, Mexico, and over towards the Caribbean islands. Yes, there may be some downpours, but nothing that looks like it's going to become organized and give us a hassle as far as being a tropical storm or a hurricane. So this is all the way through 4 p.m. Friday. Fast forwarding, going ahead, Saturday, Sunday, you can see a shower or storm or two pop up here or there across the Caribbean, Atlantic, and the Gulf, but nothing that looks very impressive. So for now, National Hurricane Center thinking that we're not going to have any tropical trouble for at least the next week. So no tropical activity expected for the next 7 days across the Atlantic Basin. Here's the deal though. We still have very warm water temperatures out there in the Gulf and in the northwestern Atlantic and in the northwestern Caribbean rather, and in the western Atlantic, and we have the potential for anything that develops to kind of tap into that warm water, and that would be fuel for these tropical systems. However, at this point, there's not anything that's really going. Now, we did get one significant update today from Colorado State University meteorologists. Of course, they put out that all-important forecast ahead of the hurricane season, what they're expecting for the number of named storms, hurricanes, and major hurricanes. So today they did an update, and a little bit of good news for you. The numbers that they predict for the rest of the 2025 Atlantic Basin season have dropped a little bit. So named storms went from 17 to 16. Hurricanes dropped from 9 to 8, and major hurricanes dropped from 4 to 3. So that is still a little bit above our average of 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. But at least we're headed in the right direction. So far this season, we've only had 3 named storms, 0 hurricanes, and 0 major hurricanes. So here is what they're thinking as far as what the rest of their outlook basically said. Slightly reduced numbers were predicted for the remainder of the season because of strong Caribbean shear. So when you have that shear in the upper levels, it kind of rips those storms apart as they try to develop, and it becomes harder to get these tropical systems going. But they think, yes, the numbers got a little lower, but the season will still be fairly active because of very warm Atlantic Ocean waters and the lack of an El Nino setup. We're kind of in a neutral phase right now. We may flip over to La Nina, which actually would favor a little more tropical activity. So yes, they're expecting a lot of Caribbean shear, but they're still expecting a few ingredients to come together to cause the season to still be fairly active. So bottom line, what do you need to do? Whether it's quiet or not, just always be prepared and have your emergency hurricane gear ready, because we all know these systems can pop up quickly and they can do a lot of damage. As we sail through the rest of July, where would we look to see some possible development? These are our more typical formation zones for hurricanes for the rest of the month. Notice the western Atlantic, northwestern Gulf, and parts of the western Caribbean would be some of the hot spots. But even here, notice they're shaded in yellow. So that means possible, not likely, but possible that we could have a tropical depression, tropical storm, or hurricane brewing. But like I said, the good news for now, nothing at all for at least the next week. If you're hopping on a big ship, going on a nice cruise, maybe to Costa Maya, Cozumel, Cancun, Puerto Rico, over towards the Bahamas, Jamaica, it looks like you won't have any major issues, at least for the next week, but we've still got to get through all the rest of hurricane season, of course, with the peak being in September, ending by November 30th. So we'll be watching it day by day, and we'll let you know if there's anything to worry about. More Texas Live and Local after the break.